For the moon salutation, we do start standing up. And when we're done the moon salutation, the rest of this class will be more of a typical yin gentle somatic yoga class, which will be all floor based. So if you don't mind, just widen your feet a little bit and look at them just for a minute, just to get grounded. You might even shift your weight back and forth, just to make sure you're feeling all parts of your feet. And then for a moment, if you feel safe to do so, go ahead and close the eyes and place right hand on the chest area near the heart and left hand on your belly. And let's just start by grounding ourselves with a full yogic breath, which is 3 parts. In a traditional full 3-part yogic breath, you fill up from the bottom up and you release from the top down. Just notice how this is settling you, settling your nervous system, maybe calming things down if you're experiencing any anxiety or overwhelm due to circumstances, either in your own life and or the world. And just for this next hour, let's just get really present and focus right here on moving our body in a way that is nourishing to us, and also getting our breath and heart and mind all settled into the present, the only safe place to be, right here, right now. Okay, if you don't mind opening your eyes, lift your arms up to the sky, keep your elbows bent and bring them back by your side. Do that 2 more times, just lifting up and drawing down. On the 3rd time, lifting up, interlace hands behind head, open up the chest just a little bit, a slight back bend, then draw elbows toward each other. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling, open, exhaling, a slight close. Now let's tilt side to side to start opening up our side bodies. The moon salutation is a side to side move. And if you want to go deeper, you would drop one hand down, still supporting the neck. And then if you want to go even deeper, you would draw arms up to the sky and go side to side like this. Now you can stop at any stage from the one that we started off with to this one, depending on what's going on with your shoulders and your neck and your upper back. All right, let's go ahead and drop that. Widen your feet, toes slightly turned out, and just go up and down a few times into the full moon pose. This is also known as goddess pose and horseman's pose. Now pivot toward the right side of your mat, which will be my left side if you're mirroring me. Let's go in and out of a warrior 2. So what we're doing is we're doing a gentle somatic yoga version of a full moon salutation, where we don't necessarily hold the poses. We move in and out, contracting and releasing muscles. And then go ahead and place a hand on your front thigh, knee is bent. You can either hook the hand behind your head to support your head or place it over, go into a side angle and release. A side angle and release. Last time, side angle and release. You might need to narrow your feet a little bit. We'll move in and out of a triangle pose. And again, there's 3 hand positions you could do here. Hand on the waist, hand supporting neck, or arm overhead. You decide what's appropriate today. If you can, you keep the front knee straight. So you're kind of shifting in and out. You don't go to the full range of your pose at the beginning. You're moving in and out of this pose. And maybe you feel like you're able to go a little deeper. So we're going to shift now to face the narrow end of your mat. So you're just pivoting your back foot and go in and out of a warrior 1. Use your breath. And then you can either place your hands on the small of your back or just keep your hands on your waist. Some of you might be reaching toward the ground or blocks, but I'm just going to go in and out of a pyramid pose, not going that deep. The important part of the pyramid pose is that your hips are squared off. So front hip pulled back, back hip pulled forward. And you're keeping your spine long. You're not rounding the spine. So keep that spine long. All right, shift back to the center. Go through another goddess or full moon pose. And then let's set up for the other side for warrior 2. Toes toward the narrow end. Your other foot is slightly turned in. Your back hip is open. Your front hip, no, wait a minute. Your front hip is open. Your back hip is slightly closed. Moving in and out. That's the way we do things in Gentle Somatic Yoga. We contract, we soften. We contract, and we soften. And we do this for our nervous system as much as for our fascial tissue and our muscles to create a feeling of safety. Go ahead and keep that knee bent. Hand is either on waist or supporting neck or overhead, moving in and out of a side angle. And if you want to try, you can go a little deeper, preparing the body. Keep that front leg straight. You might slide the back leg in slightly, moving in and out of a triangle. Be very careful with triangles. People tend to overdo a triangle and then throw something out near their SI. That's one of the problem poses if people overdo it. Now pivot that back foot. You're now facing the narrow end of your mat. You squared off your hips, moving in and out of a warrior 1. Using your breath. Make sure your hips remain square. You might even take your hands for a moment and put them on the backs of your hips. Make sure you're nice and squared off. And then you're moving in and out of a pyramid pose, lengthened spine. You're trying to keep your legs relatively straight. Some people go much deeper into this, and I used to, but it's more appropriate these days for me to keep it pretty safe. All right, let's switch back one more time and do a few more full moon poses. And slide your feet toward each other. And then we'll go ahead and do some crescent moons to finish our Moon Salutation. So this is a slightly different one than I've done in the past. This is gentler. So go ahead and draw hands in Namaste position in front of your heart, and let's check in and see how we're feeling. Hopefully we've gently moved the energy throughout the body, and you're feeling the soft glow of the moon, of that beautiful full moon energy. In general, full moons are times to celebrate all that we have accomplished since the new moon. So if you have things that you set as intentions during the new moon, today is the day to now see what you've been able to accomplish. So let's do one balance pose before we come down, just because the tree pose is so associated with a full moon salutation. And if you are not feeling real steady today, have a hand either on a wall or on a chair. I'm going to offer you a couple of different ways to do the tree pose. So one way would be just to take one foot and place it on top of the other, and then you're just lifting up the toes. That's the gentlest, particularly if you've been having some balance issues. You can go a little further up like that. Actually, one of my favorite ways of doing this is, if I can get my balance, is to actually cross my ankle over my thigh. This is not a traditional tree pose, but I find it easier on my hips and still really good for balance. So put your thumb to your index finger, right? That mudra that helps with balance. Find something to stare at. Breathe. Your ankle should be kind of going back and forth a little bit. And smile if you can. Okay, shake things out in between, and then set up for whatever tree pose you're doing on the other side. Either foot on the foot, lifting toes, the leg just slightly here. You can go further up. You can keep your hands in front of you, but touch your thumb to your index finger. Or you can draw your arms up to be the limbs. You find something to stare at, lengthening your exhale, breathing, and just imagine you're a tree bathing in the light of the moon. All right, let's shake it out. And you might want to lean your hands on a chair or the wall here. Just sort of release all tension from all your body and sigh a few times. Shake it out.